Hi, everyone. We are here at RSA conference. A big thank you to the organizers for adding the device security and accessibility track. I'm Tiffany Wilson with WENS Change Access. I'm an accessibility practitioner and assistive technology subject matter expert. Joining me today is Florian.
Yeah,
He's, thank you.
you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yes, he's presenting Thursday, or if you're watching this today, correction. Today is Wednesday. Florian is presenting tomorrow on Thursday. He's a subject matter expert on accessibility in the digital realm and cybersecurity. And I'm happy he agreed to this interview.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So, Florian,
Yeah.
please tell us more about you and your last name. And I don't want to pronounce it and get it wrong. And please tell us about your work as well.
Right. My name is Florian Beijers. I am a Dutch blind, as you said, accessibility practitioner, accessibility expert, working for various web-based companies to improve their accessibility posture. To improve their accessibility posture, I help with training, with remediation, with testing. I know a lot about WCAG, the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, and how to apply them. Various laws around the world pertaining to accessibility. And I'm also a developer and red teamer in training. So it's sort of a wearing many hats at any given point kind of situation.
I love the depth of your expertise. And so your session here at RSA is Auth Complete Access Denied, the state of accessibility and cybersecurity.
That's right.
Can you tell us more about it and what you hope attendees will take away from it?
So I've been doing a Twitch stream at the channel I See Null. Link will be in description, I'm sure. But that has been all about cybersecurity and coding in general and just the accessibility of the various tenets of it. So what I'm aiming to do with this talk is to sort of formalize that and make it into a referable talk where you can see where the accessibility problems that I have found can be found. So I'll be covering things like tutorials, things like learning platforms, cybersecurity awareness content within companies, all sorts of different facets of both practitioner and user cybersecurity that you might run into as a primarily blind person. But also, other disabilities will come into play as well. So I'm essentially trying to highlight and bring awareness to the um, somewhat problematic approach that has been taken in the past. The interesting correlation between security and accessibility, and all sorts of interesting things in between that I thought fit the margin, as it were.
Well, thank you for that explanation. And I am happy to share any links in the description.
Hmm.
So tell us, when accessibility is built into security from the beginning, what considerations should developers keep in mind?
It's really something that developers of conventional tech have been working on for quite a while as well. Essentially, you need to work it so you're building products for people that are not you. In particular, in security, this is important because in any kind of cybersecurity methodology, the human is considered the weakest link in the chain. So if we don't educate the humans properly, that means that there is an inherent weakness in your cybersecurity posture. And if the content that we're using to educate these people is not accessible, then you're going to have that deficit no matter what you. So what you need to do is make sure that the content you create, the websites, the tooling you create adheres to accessibility guidelines. And you need to start thinking about that at the leftist, as it were, part of your design journey. So adding it after the fact is generally very difficult to do. It's like putting a blueberry in a blueberry muffin after the muffin's already made. It's just not a thing you really easily do. So it is a lot easier to do that when you're still sort of coming up with the ingredients. You're making sure that the toolkits that you're using are accessibility ready. You're making sure that when you make content, for say videos, that you either have audio description, captions for deaf or hard of hearing people, um, things like minimizing the if you look here and then point do that and then you press this, you do that. at this point, obviously, anyone who's not looking at the screen is completely lost. So that's something you can sort of train your people, your content creation people not to do. There's a lot of things to it, honestly.
I appreciate your approach and I agree. Being human centered is so important. And I'm going to borrow that blueberry muffin analogy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, great. This brings us to our last question.
Mhm.
What's one change a security team can make today to improve access?
I think the first it's very similar to like addiction control. Like the first thing you need to do to be able to get better is to admit that you have a problem. In this case, I think the first thing any security team should do, and this is also going to be in my 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years situation on my in my talk. I'm going to give a little bit of a pointer here, a little bit of a tip off the secrecy layer. um, just see where your problems are. It's like see where the accessibility issues in your particular approach, your particular company might be. Like, do you have videos where people keep saying, as you can see, or pointing at a blackboard and not saying what they're actually pointing at? Or do you have a tool that is just entirely visual and not screen reader supported? Like, are there things of that nature that you have in your company? If so, you need to catalog those. Just be aware of them. Just like a security audit, you need to do an accessibility audit to figure out where you're not compliant, where you're not properly hardened, and where you have potential vulnerabilities to be exploited. In this case, that's accessibility problems. And then, just like anything else in security, you start fixing it. You start prioritizing. You start doing the risk management, and then you start fixing the problems. And that could be a long process, but you have to start it somewhere. And I think starting is the hardest part, but also the most important part.
Well, Florian, thank you for the expert tip and the interview and being here for your presentation to promote accessibility here at RSAC. Also, thank you again to the organizers